There are really good places. There's like a whole family section in Glastonbury. No, I've never used it.
I got sent a gift, a wand to massage down there.
Does it a little bit of vibrate?
So no,
It does not vibrate. They just sent me a dildo, basically.
And then my guy goes out with a tub full of milk, walking around Pikes trying to sell my breast milk.
I love it.
So Keisha, you had your last gig last night, officially going on to maternity leave.
Mat leave for creatives. I'm out the game. Do you know what? I think if you're not conscious about when you're self-employed, you will just keep going.
Yeah.
So there has to be a cut-off point. So I'm due on the 9th of May, and that, which is 2 weeks away? Not even that, less than 2 weeks. And I'm still working. It's
down
taxing,
to you,
isn't it?
Especially, I'm not going to show the camera on my feet because this is why I'm wearing long trousers, but when you've embodied the Nutty Professor for the last 2 weeks, like I have, I literally woke up one morning after yoga like, I've done yoga and I feel amazing. And then I got in the shower and I looked down and I was like, whose feet are those? I don't know if it's something I did in yoga or if it's just pregnancy, but they haven't gone down.
I think it's just pregnancy.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind, but I was like, it's fine. I'll just put some ice on it. Didn't go down. I was I'm going to soak them. It's fine. I've got, get the magnesium oils out, get everyone's recommendations that they give you. Did all of that, and I still couldn't get my Crocs on.
So sad.
It's a problem when
It's sad, isn't it?
It's a sad state of affairs, and then the Birkenstocks were just like, as I've got on now, the flesh that's just popping out the side. It's like, hey, fatty. It's just so strange. Anyway, but I didn't have a stall at my gig, which was a little bit annoying.
Did you
but
ask
also,
for one?
I did ask for one. But you know what was my problem
and
is
they
I
didn't give you one?
I didn't ask again at the gig. I felt a bit embarrassed. And at the end I was like, just sort of 38 weeks pregnant, still going strong.
That's the problem. You use the word strong. Sometimes you don't want to ask though, do you? Because
you don't want to feel like the martyr. Like it's that kind of like you're doing a job, this is your job, do the job.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours, get it done. But that is the female energy we give her, like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I've got this.
Yeah.
But then you're like, I want that seat. Why are you not offering me a seat?
100%.
Yeah.
It's like that double-edged sword.
100%.
Like, hello.
Or then you're like, no one's even asked me how I feel. And then you're like, all anyone wants to talk to me about is pregnancy. There's other things going on in my life.
Stop giving me your advice. I don't want
the
it.
unsolicited advice.
I feel like I'm on that side where everyone's telling me that what I should be doing, like, don't have a home birth. These are the complications. Do go to hospital. And so always constantly thinking, okay, this is my choice, but is it the right one?
Yeah.
Like, am I doing the right thing? Like, yes, I've decided to get doulas. That was my choice. I mean, bless Kay. When I said to him, I was like, so I'm thinking about getting a doula. He was a doula? Doula? What's that?
How did you explain it to him?
It was really hard because at the time I knew that it was like, I didn't want to be like, oh, they're like midwives, but not.
Yeah.
Because he's very sort of like, let's go to hospital.
Yeah.
He's had a child already and he's like, I think we should go to hospital. This is probably the right way to do it. But again, he said that, but without being like, this is your decision. So whatever you want to do, I'm happy with it. And bless him, he has fully just gone along with whatever I've wanted to do. Like,
You never piss off a pregnant woman, that's why.
No, this is true. But even well, we were talking about antenatal classes and I said, I'm not really bothered about them. And he's like, I'm not really. So then I decided to take him to a 3-hour holistic antenatal class.
I'm not bothered about them.
I'm not bothered about them, but we're going to do this
3
class
hours,
where
here
it's
we
like,
go.
so it was like 45 minutes theory. So he'd learned a lot about the woman's body and stuff. And there were loads of men in the class like looking around going, sorry, can you repeat that? With like little notes on either on their phone or like a piece of paper.
So hang on, you're saying, that's not the clitoris?
No, but
What
so
have I
many
been doing for
questions.
the last 10 years?
Literally that. So many questions.
Perineum?
Literally. So many questions that they thought they knew that they didn't, which was, it was great. And then the rest of the class was just practical. So it was very much like me on top of Kay, like...
Nice.
Yeah, fully... Well,
What do you mean?
well, just like straddling him in certain positions to like... so
Wait,
that he
in
can...
your antenatal class?
So whilst I'm going through contractions or surges, as they now say,
Okay, the holding, not
exactly.
Okay,
just like supporting me during those moments so he knows what to do. So he's not flapping around while I'm going, give me the food.
Yeah.
When I was in labour, I was like, don't touch me. don't come near me.
That might happen.
Yeah,
I might be like that.
100%.
Were you at home?
That was so. My first birth was like in a hospital, but we left the hospital and went back
Really?
home. We
Were
escaped
you like
it.
in labour and
Yeah,
then
so
you were
the
like...
first one I was induced because it was like 43 weeks and I hated hospital.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So I literally ran away from the hospital and went back to my, like...
This
to
is sounding like a
Piers's-
movie.
No,
This is like
it was intense. Went to Piers's mum and dad's house and we had like a full meal, full like 20-course meal.
Love it.
And then I went into active labour and puked everything up.
Oh no, yeah, because that is, that.
And then I'm on the floor mooing. And Piers's dad's
it
like,
bit-
get her to the hospital. It was intense.
When you just said mooing, that reminded me of when I went to hospital just to have a couple of checks, and the women that are inside that were about to like they're in labour, fully in labour, the mooing, like the deep noise that
it's
comes
a real.
from.
That's when you know it's coming. When you start mooing like a cow, your baby's coming.
It was hard. I was like, wow, is that going to be me? In
It's
a
actually
matter of
really
months?
nice though.
But was your first birth very different to your second one?
My, the only difference apart from being induced was Zikora. The first one was quicker. Active labour was quicker. So I walked into the second one thinking that my active labour would be like quick like my first one. But the second one, it felt longer and I was like in it and I was like, hold on a second, why is this taking so long?
I always assumed the second one would be quicker.
I think it's because I was induced and I was
you were
43,
induced for the
43
second
weeks
one.
and I was like, he was literally hanging out
Stress.
anywhere. Like, hanging out.
Just there.
Hanging out the bottom.
He was literally just hanging out. So it was quite quick. I mean, the second one was really quick too, and we were at home and it was so beautiful. I just like everyone came around to our house, and Piers's mum was there. She was basically my doula.
The doula.
And then we had the midwives and Piers, and then they all came, and I was like, everyone, just leave me alone. I shut the door in my bedroom.
Just want to be
And
alone.
just paced up and down my bedroom until she came. And then went downstairs and gave birth on the floor. And my son was sat there watching on the stairs.
Was he just like, what the hell is going
No,
on?
he
How old was he?
He would have been 4.
3, 4.
That's insane.
With my
Wow.
like my mother-in-law watching my vagina open.
Literally.
I think you just will never, things never go to plan. You just kind of, that's why I've planned all this. Like, again, I've got doulas, I've got home midwife, amazing, but I mean, I don't know if it's going to go the way I want it to go. I just have to be prepared for like
it.
anything.
This is it.
You might end up having a C-section, you might end up having but it's good that you just went along with how you, like, that's kind of how you felt, and you just, gave birth on the floor.
It is the best
Kudos
bliss.
to you, because in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know how that thing's coming out. How's it coming out?
It's the nicest
Still,
feeling
I've
in
got
the
a bit of
world.
anxiety about that's coming out, and I'm trying to like get in the
Totally.
zone of just like even the breath work and everything. I can't imagine that there's going to be something coming.
Think about all the padding on the fat fanny.
It's true though. That's why.
Giant
That's why
fanny.
it's there.
I honestly think that's
That is
why
why
it
it's
gets like
there.
that.
Let's talk about the
puffy.
giant
Yeah,
fanny.
it's so
Puffy.
big.
Can't see it. I mean, I like that. Can't see it. I'm not bothered.
You can
Just
touch
like,
it though.
Touch it, true. Could touch it.
So you
Could
know it's
touch
there.
it. Know it's there. But that is actually, I don't know if that's worse, knowing that it's just it's
Honestly.
growing.
It's
Yeah,
But what they don't tell you is once you've had the baby,
Well, it gets worse.
And also how long it
suppose
takes to go down.
it takes a while to go down.
Doesn't that depend as well if you've had to have just like if you've got a 2nd degree, 3rd degree tear or
I didn't
I
tear
think
at
it's
all.
just,
Just
like you just
depends.
imagine
Didn't
like
tear, okay.
it's like
That's amazing.
repeatedly, being
Pounded.
Pounded. It's nice.
not in a fun way.
It's a nice bit of action.
That is, you can do that. Some people do that, you know.
Yeah.
Some people have sex while like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
What do you mean? Wait, hold on,
Like,
rewind.
because like, no,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, no.
not having sex, but like you like clitoris, like stimulation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, before.
Yeah.
During.
Oh, during
Because
labour.
it sends like hormonal
Yeah.
release.
Yeah,
of
the
oxytocin.
oxytocin. No, I have heard that you
Anti-stress.
like should have a bit. If it's not coming along, like have some sex.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
have
that
sex.
Oh, yeah.
that
That's
stimulates
where
the
it goes,
brain.
yeah,
I guess.
But
But
during,
during, I've not heard of that.
Honestly, I couldn't think of
That's
anything
wild.
worse. Couldn't keep
Oh,
still
yeah.
me.
No.
no, but some people.
In the last week,
Okay,
I was like, do
fair.
not touch me. I'm swollen. It's not.
You
it's
just
not
feel
happening.
so heavy and uncomfortable and
Listen, I can't even think about getting into like a birthing position. If Kay started talking to me about like sex and positions, I'd be like, so what?
Kay's going to be listening
No,
to
what
this.
am I? What am I? Yeah, what positions
Okay.
do you want me to do with my swollen
Lie
feet?
on the side.
I can't even. I can't even get up.
You have to, you know when you're having a wax and they turn you onto the side and ask you to lift the cheek?
That's where you go in.
Well, right. So this has only happened to me
yeah,
recently
yeah.
when I got a pregnancy wax. Because I was
a
like,
pregnancy
I didn't know it was any different. She was like, lie on your side and I'll just lift your cheek up. And I was like, now I feel weird. I'd rather just was on all fours. Oh, no, it was all very strange. Like, the whole thing was...
Did you do it?
I did it, but in that moment, it was the first time ever of my waxing, and because I've never shaved ever in my life, I only wax. I'm too frightened to like get a shaver down there and just like, what if I clip a lip or clip a?
You trust me, you won't want to be shaving right now. You might slice a
Oh
lip
my
off.
God. See, that's
I would
like-
get Piers to do it.
You got Piers to do your
Yeah,
perineum massage,
yeah.
What, he
didn't you?
gave you a shave?
Yeah.
I can't see anything.
That's great.
How does that work?
That's great. Yeah.
Got a
Did you
red-
just like pull it up and?
No, it's like
And he just got in there and just like,
Because you're more bendy as well.
Right.
aren't you?
Oh,
You're
so much more
I'm
bendy.
like, just
so
do
much
it.
more bendy.
that's crazy.
well, I'm gonna push a whole human. You can shave my neck.
No, definitely. I think it's amazing that he's done it, but it is a bit of a skill because if you get the wrong direction, you might cause like an like that's now if to let Kay do that now, no,
It's a
I don't
no.
trust him. It's a no
Doesn't
from
he have a
me.
beard?
Yeah.
Shaves that. He's a pro.
Oh, he goes to barbers. Yeah, I don't know.
not- he's not
I don't know about the
self-shaver.
shave. He's got a bit of a shaky hand.
Do you
as
know
well.
what?
I'd just be like, I'd leave to get a mirror. I'd be like, what the fuck is that? I'd be all over the place. No, he's not allowed to do that. There's many things he's very good at, but that I'm like, no. I'll leave. I'll
that is
let
so
it be. I'll just let
Has he
it
been
grow.
doing the little is it perineum?
Perineum massage.
Perineum massage.
Well, I got sent a gift. Lots of gifts have been coming to the house because people have either sent them, I made a microbe list, so I was being really efficient. That wasn't on the list because that's something that I consider to be quite intimate.
Yeah.
A wand to massage down there, but that arrived in the post
Post.
with no name attached. It's like
A stick. Or
it's like a little wiggly.
It's like a snake. It looks
yeah,
like a
it looks
snake.
like
It
a
goes like
snake.
this.
So you would hold it like
Hook
that with your thumb on the top, and then insert it at the bottom part of your vajayjay, and then you pull it down, and you just do like a UE section with it.
So it pushes down
pushes
on it and
pushes
Yeah.
and
down.
you do a little bit of
vibrate.
So no,
It does not vibrate. So they've sent me a blank one that I've got to use. They've just sent me a dud dildo, basically.
It really should vibrate though. It really should.
No, they've just like sent me some poor man's version of like
yeah, just like plenty of these are better.
Yeah, thanks. But yeah, and then on the back it said 15 minutes, and I thought 15
That's a
minutes
long
of like
time.
sitting on the bed with your legs up with a mirror. It's a lot, isn't it? To
Yeah.
incorporate
It's a lot.
in your day. But you meant to do it like once or twice a day.
Yeah.
Oz did it for me and it
Did he?
yeah.
Oh, that's
I-
really
there's no way
I
I'd let
Really
them
got
do
in there, but it I thought it was maybe going to be a bit like
intrusive.
no, like sexier than
Oh,
it
no,
was.
but it
It was
wasn't.
literally like
Oh,
it
no,
was real
yeah.
thummy, and I was like,
No, the thumb, digging out. Like, yeah, that's not real.
I see. I didn't have a wand, and I didn't do it. I had this like it's called an epino.
What's that?
So basically,
Oh.
it's like a little like deflated balloon, and it comes with like a gauge. So basically, you do it to do like your Kegels thing. So basically, you do 10 minutes of your tightening, and you try and get the gauge to where it is. And then basically you blow the balloon up over a series of weeks to the point where the balloon gets to 10 centimeters without your perineum ripping.
Lord.
No, it's not like the balloon doesn't go all the way in.
I'm
it's
just
like
trying to. I've
around
got
there.
so many visuals going on from what you've
this-
said.
like this.
Who
So
invents
like-
these things? That's
don't
what I
know.
want to
Well, this
know.
is
Do you know
my
what?
mum
I'm not
would
going to
say.
lie. It was actually really because you're just able to like practice your breathing down and like your breathing whilst it's and you stop. Like when you get to a point where it feels a little bit tight, you stop and then you go back next time and it just goes a little bit more.
it makes sense in my head, but in reality, it's like
Honestly,
it's a
hands
lot.
down, it's hands down to the epino.
Epino as well, and the name.
Effie,
you
no.
know.
Yeah, because it's
like-
episiotomy.
No, I know, but like, imagine sitting in that marketing team, like, Epino.
Yeah.
Happy, yes.
Just like, yes, I'll take that. Just when we were talking about this, it's making me. I've spoke to my mum and she was like, "What are all these tools? We just didn't have any of
Yeah.
this back in the day.
Yeah.
We just gave birth.
Yeah.
Why have you got all these like accessories? I was like, no, but I didn't buy it. But I know what she means because
there's
there's
something
there's something for everything, and it gets a bit gimmicky after a
Oh
while.
yeah, it does.
And it's almost like, well, just do the thing.
Yeah.
Just do the thing, just wang it out.
I'm sorry, all you need is a good playlist.
yeah, good playlist.
I've got a couple of
A
those.
great playlist.
Got a couple of those.
Great playlist and some good breathing.
Good breathing.
Yeah.
And if you do a home birth, you have to get, I told you this, didn't I?
Yeah.
You have to get like brand new sheets.
Yeah.
Brand new sheets.
Well, I did get brand new sheets, pajamas.
Brand new
Yeah,
pajamas.
I've got brand new pajamas.
As in just
Button
for like
down.
a nicer
Right.
No, because it's
experience or
the
because
best thing.
Feeling.
You've given birth, right?
Yeah.
And then you put on your new pajamas and you get, you know that brand that when you get
Yeah.
into new
new
sheets
Yeah.
and then you get in your own bed
sheets.
in
Yeah.
fresh sheets.
I don't want to share
Oh.
my fresh sheets though, so I might be
Yeah,
like,
but
"Kate,
then
can
you
you go in the
just-
second
you
room?
can get
out.
Can you sleep in the
Bless
second
you.
room?" I never let anyone in my bed once. I've changed it. I'm like, "This is for me."
It's so, and then with your new baby.
Oh,
yeah.
me and my new baby and Kay. The other room.
Get me a cup of tea, 100%.
Where's my sticks and sushi?
100.
Oh, I'm
and
so
food,
ordering
and
that.
food. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, good food.
yeah. I've
good.
said
The
I'm
meal
putting a list
after.
on that.
Do you know what?
Sushi is the vibe.
All I wanted after having birth was a brothy faux.
I hear that.
Oh,
Like
just-
I hear that.
comfort
Oh,
to
yeah,
like
yeah,
just
yeah,
that,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
you know when you have broth and you just go, oh, that felt so good on the gut.
I've never
My
said-
gut's really, really happy about this
I've
choice.
literally
No, but do you know
never
what I
said
mean?
that.
Like, you know, when you're like, you know, I don't know, just like I felt like a really good,
Yeah.
like, just
Makes sense. It's
broth.
wholesome.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
It's
nutrients.
Yeah.
That's why
It's
your body's
nutrients.
you've just lost
You
so
want
much.
liquid and you want
You want
nutrients.
nutrients.
Yeah,
Whole
don't know if I'm
foods,
that-
Whole Foods
yeah.
is good.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, we got home. You know, when you get home, when you've been to the hospital with a baby, we were in the black cab and we were like, fuck, we've got a baby.
Yeah,
and then we got home, the baby's in the car seat. We sit down on the floor and we're like,
So
what do we do now? We just ordered a shit ton of Burger King and sat there like,
We ordered
Oh.
KFC.
Yeah.
We had loads of KFC. So when you guys were talking about nourishing stuff, I
You
was
were like,
KFC shake.
You either want a photo or you want something else.
I had a photo in the hospital and Burger
So
King
you
when I
get
got
that.
home.
It actually, I was looking on Instagram the other day, or every day, when I'm not looking at Instagram, and obviously the algorithm brings you pregnancy
Yeah.
stuff when you've looked at one. And there was this woman who'd had her whole life sorted on. I was just like, oh God, I want to see someone who's actually not sorted.
That was
Who
me
hasn't
all
done
over.
Who
Oh,
hasn't
yeah.
got, but these trays with like all of the
Oh,
baby
no.
stuff and like everything you need, like post.
Oh, and they like roll
And they've
it.
like
it's all
nappy
like-
caddy and it's all in a perfect. These are the things you should buy. These are the things you need to have, and the hairbrush and the nappies in one. The second tray's got the the coconut oil, and also people talking about coconut oil like it's just turned up.
Yeah.
Like we've been using coconut oil for years. My
Why
mum
is
used
it
to
so smooth?
like what is this? Do you know what I mean? This is why. But like it's funny
It's
like all the
so
products that are
true.
coming back with like like there's a brand new coconut oil that you can buy that's like £25 when you just go to Sainsbury's and buy it for $2.99.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, well,
The
it's
local
probably not
hair shop has a
$2.99, but-
banging one.
Yeah, there's that as well. Whatever goes in your hair goes on your body. Like, it's
Body.
all fine. Bit of shea butter.
Oh, shea butter
Yeah.
actually is
Like,
my godsend.
It's a go-to.
I don't have anything but shea.
It's a go-to. I had a friend of mine said, "Oh, you should really try this stuff. It's really good." And then I looked where it was. It said,
Was your
shea
friend
butter,
white?
and I was like, "She was."
I was just
And
saying
I
it,
was like, "Thanks." No, I didn't know what else to say. I was like, because it is
I
really
bought this
sweet,
new.
but-
I bought this new moisturizer. I look fantastic.
Honestly, my
Shea
trick
butter.
is to go to, whenever I go to Nigeria or Ghana, I come home and
Yeah.
go to the market, I come home with 2 massive
There
big
you
bagfuls
go.
and they last
Yeah.
for months.
There you
And they're
go.
about 50p.
yeah.
50p.
Honestly.
No, it
Yeah, they
probably
are.
is
Do
the
that.
equivalent of. But yeah. Mullins,
Yeah.
you, IVF.
IVF, yeah. Doing IVF.
What's it like?
How are you feeling?
What am I feeling? I'm very hormonal at the moment and I'm doing a fully medicated cycle. You could do a natural cycle if you wanted to, where it's maybe no meds. And you can also do a fresh transfer, which is they do the egg retrieval and then they put it straight back in. But with a medicated frozen cycle, they take the eggs, they mix them with the sperm, you get your embryos, they freeze them, and you do a fully medicated cycle. That's what I'm doing, where they
Right.
hijack your cycle and then they optimize it for pregnancy. And it's a lot.
I mean,
imagine.
it's
Does the man just have to
incredible.
spunk off? And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. in and out, fuming.
Mad, isn't it?
They just have to put a little hole in the wall.
And that's it.
But it is a privilege, not a punishment, to do IVF, even
Yeah.
though it's a really long process. So
It is.
Did you conceive your first through IVF?
no, got pregnant straight away.
So how does it like? I know that my friend was exactly actually she got pregnant after, but she was in exactly the same situation. It's like, why is what's happening with my body if I could?
It's mad because I never thought I would be in
Yeah.
this situation.
Yeah.
But actually, it's really common with the second one.
Yeah, but it is, isn't it?
It is.
It's really common with the second one. I also had a C-section. And so I've had investigations to see the pathway. They like check the pathways ready so they could just go pop with the embryo. And it was a bit messy in there. They had to it took 5 attempts to do that one procedure.
Wow.
And she was like, I just need to clear some bits out the way. And I was thinking,
clear
maybe
some
that's
bits?
why.
What bit?
What bit?
What's
Like
this? Like
tissue.
traffic? Like what's going on?
Tissue, I had a niche in the inside of my scar
From
that
this...
bits kept getting caught on.
Just fleshy.
Just like mess.
Just like hanging out there like this.
Just
was
floating
it?
around. And
So they paved the way. So that's preparing for the
Do they
embryo
get a camera up
transfer.
there? Is that how they do it? Or they just like,
I feel like a lab rat at this point because I've been poked at.
Yeah.
But also the
so
amount of other
much.
things that you have to take into consideration, like the
All
injections
the
and
meds. Well, it's because I'm doing this medicated cycle. I'm thinking, did I need all of this? Our fertility test actually came back normal, and I
Yeah.
chose the most medicated route because the doctor was saying it's got the best results.
yeah.
And it,
It's available.
So
I mean, those hormones must be special because, I mean,
what does it
hormones
make you
in
do?
general make you want to like get divorced and move out.
It's insane. The
they
other
are
day
crazy.
I'm a big reality TV fan, so I was working at home on my laptop.
Don't know why you're winking at me.
I'm looking at
Shout out Desperate Housewives.
Real Housewives.
say
Summer
Real
House, all of
Housewives.
that
Yeah,
stuff.
One of those.
Shout out Paige DeSorbo.
Exactly. Fangirl. So I'll be working away on my laptop and it's always on in the background. And I just caught this scene. I was watching the Kardashians, as you do. Kim and Chloe are at this wedding in India. They've spent like 400 million pounds on this
Yeah.
wedding in India.
Oh my God.
And
Not them.
Not them.
Not
Just
them.
they
The-
went
the
to a
actual-
wedding.
I was
Yeah,
like,
Not them.
Right, okay.
but they're guests. They're the
Okay.
guests of
The wealthiest
I've seen
people-
some clips of
Are they the
on
wealthiest
socials
people in
of
the
them
world, that
going-
family?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just watching it and I can already feel myself welling up. I'm literally just looking at the wedding, just like,
because it's beautiful.
because it's beautiful. And I was just like, oh my God, this is such like what a moment. And then
was so ugly.
Where did I get married?
If only I had $400 million.
But what really set me off is Kim and Chloe are walking along with their jeweler, Lorraine Schwartz.
Stop. Did you cry at that bit? I know what you're going to say.
They're walking along with their jeweler. I can literally feel myself welling up now just thinking about it. And all I'm doing is looking at, because they're all dripping in diamonds, and all I'm doing is looking at Lorraine thinking, God, she must be so proud of her career.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, Lorraine is thriving, and I'm just there
Well, she kind of is.
screaming.
She is.
She is.
doing
Yeah.
well
She's
for
literally
herself.
dripping in
She's
diamonds.
Yeah.
great, yeah.
Quite literally.
And then Kim goes on to lose a one.
Kim loses. You've watched it.
Drops out of the
watched
neck.
it. I knew that she was
I've
just
watched
get
one
overwhelmed.
episode of that in my life.
You're not
when
a
you
rea-
give birth,
Do you
No,
watch
but
that?
I
I don't even know what channel that's
You know
on,
the
what
sneaky
channel
thing
that's
about
on.
Keisha, which people don't
love it.
necessarily know, is you really like periodic dramas.
I love a period drama. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Keisha
love a
loves
Pride
a
and
period drama.
Prejudice.
I remember you saying one time, "Oh, can't wait to get to home and watch The Crown."
But you.
Oh, not the Crown though.
So gassed about The Crown. Come on, guys.
What about like
That's
British?
not a
Crown.
period drama, is it? That's like a.
Well,
Well, I don't really know. I don't really know
I
British
was thinking-
terms.
I
Pride
suppose
and
it's not. I
Prejudice.
suppose it's not. I know. I suppose it's not periodic. But like, I'm more of the like. I need something like thrillery. Like, I need.
You need substance.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
substance. I need Ozark. But then there's times when I'm just like, I need to watch some shit. Like, I have been caught out by Married at First Sight.
Do you know what I really? Do you know
Just
what I really
saying.
like? I really like Naked Attraction.
No, I know. To be fair,
She
I
loves
watched
the
that as well.
But the never great. They're like
they're
like the never good dicks or fannies.
No, but I'm
they
still,
are.
They're like,
but also I'm still trying to work out in your like like what's going on in your head. What you want to go on TV and just bear all?
I'm here
I'm
for
still
it.
trying to work out like how that's.
I'm not here for it, obviously, but
Well,
like kudos
for
to
the
you.
TV.
Kate,
Yeah,
Kate would be over here going, "That's the most beautiful willy I've ever seen."
Have you ever watched it and thought that though?
No,
I
no,
watched it, and I get icked out at the feet, and then
Right.
then they
Okay,
start
yeah.
coming up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
They're like the funniest looking.
It's
All
just-
bodies are beautiful, but they're the funniest looking bodies.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
But they're all beautiful.
Also, how the presenter keeps a straight face.
I don't know.
Because she's very, because she's into it sometimes. She's like, oh, this is nice.
But
Oh,
you know
this
what I
is very
think it
nice.
is? I've watched quite a lot of them now, and I've now realised that some of the bodies are repeated.
Oh.
They're like the repeated bodies, yeah. I was like,
Oh,
I've
I
seen
thought-
you on season 2.
Oh, you-
seen that
Oh,
vagina.
you're an offender. You've been watching. You've been on that a
Late
lot.
night
Like,
TV.
how-
I would notice that angle anywhere.
100%.
I actually know someone that knows someone that was on that show.
I
you
might
will
not.
you will know the person. He's very well endowed, and it was like
Well,
this big.
obviously,
Yeah.
obviously.
No,
It
not
was-
obviously.
No, but not
No?
always
No.
obvious. No.
That's like
A lot of the
obvious
time-
is like they're not like that's the penny to a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. She's right. 100%.
And do you know what? On Naked Attraction, you always think, whoa, that's really big. And then it comes up and it's like some coda, some little skinny coda standing there like,
It's always the skinny ones.
Yeah. And also, I feel like the show shouldn't even bother with the aftermath. I don't want to see the date with your clothes on because it's just shit. It's shit.
Yeah, it
and
is.
actually, you're not probably going to see each other again. You might have ended up,
But
you know,
do
going
they?
the full
Do you
way.
know? Do they after? Did they do the
Probably
deed
a lot of
after?
them say that they do. Like in their like when they get them to come back again. Oh well, we haven't really seen each other since. I'm thinking, yeah, because you just had a
Yeah.
little fun time and that was it.
do you know what it is for me in Naked Attraction? It's the naked walk off when you're not the final
yeah,
one.
yeah,
And then the whole place just goes silent. There's just these cheeks
Yeah.
going boom.
Also, that
Shame.
really awkward moment where they're like, could have picked me.
Yeah.
And they're standing there naked and you're like, just go. just keep
Leave.
walking. Just keep walking. And they're like, yeah, could have picked me. And then like tits are bobbling, bumps going, bits are going off. I'm like, for fuck's sake. Yeah, it's an interesting show. And I remember my dad coming in the living room once when I was watching it going, what are you watching?
I've only,
What is this?
Sit down, mum. Come on, watch
I've only
Come
ever
watch
watched it, I think, via like a goggle box or something, and I've always wondered who are the people watching it, and it's all
yeah.
you lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you'd be
I'm
over
here.
there.
I'm here.
Just getting
I'm
teary
on
about
div.
it.
Yeah,
on
you're
Dev
just,
TV.
yeah, you are you're.
It's
you're
only
in.
when I go back to Bolton though.
Oh,
yeah,
that
yeah.
explains
Is
it
there
all.
something about Bolton that's encouraging you to watch naked?
That's what it is.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
fair.
Holly's up in Bolton,
Watching-
vegan, smashing
Sausage, eating
sausage
pies,
buns.
eating
my
pasties
God.
pies, and watching Naked Attraction.
Just not with the kids, I hope.
No. They're in bed.
Oh my God,
This is
How
my
are the
quiet
kids?
time.
2 kids. How are the 2 kids?
I love them.
Being a mum to
like,
2
I love
kids.
being the kid.
Aw.
Like, I think that being a mum is such a privileged thing.
Yeah, it
the
is.
most privileged thing in the world to have these 2 people that you can guide.
Yeah.
I just think it's the most wonderful thing, and like every day is such a lesson. I don't know.
Hold on, sorry, there are any more tissues over there.
Mullins is like, oh, the diamond.
Don't, I've actually put mascara on today, and it's gonna go.
I do. I just think it's the
please.
most privileged thing in the
Yeah.
world.
No, it truly is.
It's the most honest. It's difficult, but like, I just want to be incredible at it. I want
Yeah.
them to. I want
Yeah.
them to be able to grow up and know that I try to do a really good job.
Yeah.
No, but you are
Yeah,
you.
that's a
You
really
definitely
lovely
are.
way
It's
to put it.
obviously evident, and you are. Do you feel like you're having 2 is like because this whole sort of sharing you and making sure you're just like equally split down the line and
I don't
like
feel
having
that.
to. You not feel.
No. I think I found having 1 actually way more difficult than 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Maybe
when
the
you
other
have
person
1,
said
it's
that.
it's because when you for me it was when you had 1, everything's new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Everything
yeah.
is the first time. Everything.
And as a woman, you
Okay.
evolve like
And as a
really
woman,
rapidly and
yeah.
differently, I think, with 1 child. Whereas there's a lot of like sacrifices and like guilt and all of that kind of stuff, which you're aware of in the second, I'm assuming the second time. Do you know what I
think
mean?
so,
Like where you
yeah.
you're a bit more like, okay, this is how it goes.
Yeah.
This is just naturally
But
what you
also,
feel.
it's a different person as well.
It
so
is a
they're
very
bringing like
different
a whole
person.
different energy
Yeah.
into it. But yeah, you definitely, it's a job. Like with the second one, you've literally been doing your job
Yeah.
so in any job, right? When you've been doing it for a certain amount of time, you get better
You just
at
get
it.
back on
Yeah.
the horse.
Yeah, no, but you get better at it, right?
Yeah.
So the second time you've got like there's more tools in your toolbox than you had before.
Yeah.
It's interesting you just said that. Do you get better at it? Do you think you become more relaxed? Because
I think it's you become more relaxed, or you just can't be asked.
Yeah.
the latter. Basically, maybe that was it. Maybe they just can't be
It's a
asked.
bit of both, and you also just know like I'm quite far into, not far, but like I've got like a 7-year-old and a
teenagers.
4-year-old and a big man I look after. So there's like essentially 3 babies, but there's 2.
We've all got one of
But
those.
no, but I feel like you give birth and then eventually at some point you feel more like yourself wherever it is.
Yeah.
Far down the line. And then but by that point you've evolved
Yeah.
into like a completely different person.
Yeah.
And I think that at some point I was mourning who I used to be.
Yeah.
But now
Oh, yeah.
I'm so grateful about the person that I am.
It's just like an upgrade. You're just
100%
like,
an upgrade.
but I get why you would have felt like that, because you are doing mum life, and so many people will question that. So what are you doing? What do you do? And you're, oh well, I'm doing I'm being a mum. I'm doing this.
That's what I definitely have found the hardest thing. Full stop. Like identifying as, even though I love being someone's mum, but identifying as a mum first.
Yeah.
I found that really hard.
And it's so mad because I'm looking at it like, that's amazing. Like, that's being a mum. Like, that's insanity. Like, that's
I felt so much shame. I worked in the music industry for 10 years, decided not to go back because I just thought the compatibility of having a baby for me.
What, being at the cross at 2 a.m. and
That was exactly
changing nappies at 2 a.m.
in the club.
Literally
That was me. I like quit my like music job because of I couldn't do. It wasn't at that point. It wasn't suited. I couldn't literally be in a club at 3 a.m., 6 a.m. And be someone's.
Yeah.
I think my shame came a lot from not being able to do everything.
Yeah. So you're angry about that?
I wasn't angry. I didn't feel like enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I felt like I should be able to split myself.
Yeah.
Be that mum and also like bring in like this massive salary and do both simultaneously.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I felt like I was being judged,
of course,
from the outside,
Same.
inwards.
Same.
But behind closed doors, I was being a mum and I was like running a business and I was doing all of these other things. But because I wasn't hitting essentially like money milestones of where I thought I would be, where I should be without a child.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what am I doing? Will I ever get there? Will I ever be those things?
Yeah.
And you don't get paid to be supermum.
No, you really don't.
And you definitely just can't do it. It's just really not possible to do it all. Like I can be quite organized or I can be quite chaotic. And a lot of the time I'm quite organized. But I remember like for the first 3 months, well, I'm nearly 10 months postpartum now. For the first 3 months, I absolutely didn't care. And then I thought, I need to start getting into like some form of routine and all of that kind of stuff. And I remember I used to be like, I just don't have time to do it all. Something's always going to give, right? If my house was clean, my child was sitting by himself playing. Do you know what I mean? Like there's always something that's going to give. Like I'm going to wake up one day and be a great businesswoman. Do you know what I mean? Like great business meetings. And I'm going to feel like a terrible mother. And then I'm going to have days where I feel like a great mother. But I feel like everything else is out of my control. There's not enough food in the house or the food shopping's not done or like meals aren't made so that I don't have to like, do you know what I mean? I don't think I've ever gone to sleep at one day thinking I managed to achieve everything I wanted to achieve because it's just not possible.
It's not.
No.
How are you going to achieve that at Glastonbury?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Good luck with that.
Oh my, okay. I still don't know if it's a good idea or not.
I think it's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
I took mine.
Yeah. I had Romy last year on Glastonbury.
On the day.
On the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had my spinal tap, and they were like, "How are you feeling?" And I was like, "I'm probably sure better than some people at Glastonbury right now."
Yeah, because
Until they start tilting the table, and you're like, "Wow, wow!"
Because you were fully pregnant, and
I was gonna come
She
with-
was like fully pregnant, and she was like, "Holly, can you get me in Glastonbury?" I was like, "Babe, I don't think that's a good idea."
I literally remember the conversation because
Yeah.
she was like, "Well, maybe you and Kay and I, and we could speak to Holly, and we could all." And I was like, "I'm just thinking you should not be going anywhere, mate."
Yeah, and I was like 2 weeks. I was at that point 2 weeks overdue. And I thought, stuff, I'm just going to go down. But then, like, obviously, Liam and I love music.
down to the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, go down.
Liam and I love music, and Romy is obsessed with music, like
tell.
obsessed with music. And so we thought, why not just get him into the habit of like Glastonbury's his thing for his birthday? So we've booked a camper van. He will be one. It's going to be his first birthday party
Bless
at
him.
Glastonbury. And I don't know how it's going to go because
It'll be great.
I was thinking about it in a shower this morning, actually, because I was like, I'm either going to just really survive the 4 days or my ADHD is going to kick in. And after day 2, I'm going to be like, nah.
It's
I don't
4
reckon you
days.
will.
4 days is quite.
We've got a
4 days is
camper
quite
van.
lot.
4 days is
but
a lot.
you've got a camper van.
We've got a
yeah,
camper
it's a
van,
game changer.
shower,
Yeah,
toilet,
yeah.
nice camper van, and we're off
You're
off at
off-site,
Bath and
aren't you,
West.
slightly?
We're
Yeah.
at the Bath and West, so it's 15-minute like walk, whatever. The bus comes every 24 hours, so someone's got to go home with Romy.
Yeah.
And
Someone.
Not
I love that. Someone's got to go home with my child. Who's it going to be?
someone's gonna go home with my child.
There are really good places. There's like a whole family section in
There is.
Glastonbury.
It's really
No,
good
no,
for
no,
it.
no. I've never used it.
I love it. There are places there, but you could go. But
Never used it. They look like they're having fun though. There are, yeah. They have like a whole park, like a whole chill out area, which is amazing. But as long as you've got a big pulley that you can lie that baby down in, or your pram, you need one of those big.
I can't just do the baby carrier on my back the whole time.
Your back will be mashed up.
Speaking of
so
which,
tired.
I've got to ask you guys a question, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, people are not going to know this, but my partner's obviously Ghanaian. My child is very, very white.
Mm-hmm.
His
On appearance.
yeah, until he sees features. His auntie, we were talking about it, and she was like, she wraps him on the back.
Like a sling.
Like with
With
the
like a wrap, like
like
a
the
proper wrap.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
like a
wrap.
Nigerian wrap,
And
African wrap, sorry.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And she's like, I'll teach you how to do it. And I know Romy would love it, but I'm really nervous about wearing it.
Why?
I'll do it for you.
Why do you think it's like culturally inappropriate?
No, I don't think it's. I don't feel like it's culturally inappropriate at all.
In case he falls out, she does it
so
wrong.
what? Is
White
it-
man slip.
So you got a black child. You ain't got a black child there. He's wrapping around you.
Yeah, do
It's
you know what I
your
mean? Like,
child.
I don't feel it's culturally inappropriate because I know my family, I know my circumstances, all of this kind of
So
stuff.
what's
and
the issue?
I feel judged by it. I'm going to feel judged by it, but I know it would be
No.
comfortable
Well, I'm
for
not
me.
being
I
funny,
also
so-
think that Glastonbury is a great place for you to not feel judged because it's
Yeah.
so big, it's so vast, everyone's having a great time.
Yeah. And so my next question is, how do you think we handle this, right? Because I want a day out. And like you guys, you all know Liam, like it'll be day on, day off kind of situation.
Yeah.
There's two things. I can't handle parenting on a hangover.
No.
My patience goes
Yeah.
to negative 100. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, what? He's like, I'm just hungry. Not that I don't scream and shout. Do you know what I mean?
That's
but
why you go to the
we've got
healing fields.
the healing
This is
fields.
true.
Yeah.
Like as a
Yeah.
parent, when you're in Glastonbury, it changes.
Yeah.
Like you have to go to like the peaceful things in the daytime, which is the best thing to do. Like the
Yeah.
healing spots, all of like the really nice quiet music. Take them to wherever.
Yeah.
Or you take them to like the big stages where
Well, yeah, just be a little bit at the back.
Yeah.
Just don't be in Shangri-La at 4 a.m.
just don't be in Shangri-La.
Just-
with
I mean,
Actually, I know what you're like.
yeah.
Just,
No,
yeah.
not you could be in there, but
You
yeah.
can be.
I'm
but
gonna be in there.
You be in Shangri-La. Just don't rock up with Romy at
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sort of
Or
random
if you do,
with a moustache.
you put him in your moustache. But moustache,
So
he's just a
racist.
small man.
Have you never seen the TV series Good American Family with the dwarf?
Oh God.
She was 22.
That's it. When we did it, and that one time when we had our camper van and we
Before it
did
got
it,
stolen.
no, it got
R.I.P.
stolen.
He has put so much effort into that as well.
Beautiful
What the
thing.
hell?
Yeah.
No,
No,
that's
not
No, I was
Glastonbury.
gonna say, that's like
Don't
blasphemous.
stop
I was like,
that.
what?
Wow,
None at Glasgow.
He was so proud of that van too.
So
Where did it get
nice.
stolen? Bolton.
No, while eating naked, while watching Naked Attraction, campervan's gone with a half-eaten. Look at that,
Half-eaten sarnie in the back.
No way. So we had the most amazing campervan. We got one of those big white, those big Mercedes white vans.
Oh, excuse you.
And the Sprinter ones.
Sprinter
ones.
van.
It was
Sprinter van.
all like decked out. Like it had like a double bed in it, kitchen, shower. And then we went traveling in it. And then we bought a new house. We parked it outside of our house. We were having some work done on our house and moved it to the side.
Oh, God.
And then we basically forgot it was there. And the next time we looked at
Get to lock it. What,
no. It was just parked on the side so we couldn't like see it.
it
And
all the
because
time.
there was builders coming in and out, blah, 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 blah. And then next time I looked, basically,
It was gone.
went to the gym, drove past the van, and I was like, I'm sure I parked our van there. Gone. And I swear to God, I saw the van disappear up the street.
No, stop it.
Yeah, I think
Someone
it was
just
stolen.
drove past you.
I think
like,
it was
got your
stolen
van.
by two old people.
What? Could you not secure cameras anywhere on the road?
No.
like,
In
with them?
hindsight, we should have, but
didn't.
didn't. Yeah.
Just let the two old people just steal your big posh Mercedes.
I'm picturing them driving off really slowly.
Oh my God, yeah. Honestly, again. bit
You're
of a
right,
movie,
Maud.
but-
We've got the van now.
Yeah, fuck them. That.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
The old man person version.
Bonnie and Clyde.
God.
Literally.
So did you have to get a new? So you got a new
No,
one
so we've
straight
not.
away,
But we
or no?
took our van to
Glasgow.
Glasgow, and it's actually like a safe haven.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, I need
because
that.
it's quiet. It's
Yeah.
like stops all like the noise. Because that's the only thing when you sleep in a tent. Not that we did that either, but when you sleep in outdoors, it's the noise and it's overstimulation.
Very
Yeah.
much
So with a kid, it's a lot. So when you can close the doors and everything's quiet,
Yeah.
Even without a kid, I don't know how people are. It's like the tents that are right by the stages.
that's not for me.
Do you
That
know
way.
what?
you,
I get
like,
my
what's-
ADHD sensitivity goes off going to Tesco's. Do you know what I mean? Let alone being surrounded by that many people.
It's crazy.
I know it would just irk. It would literally just irk me. And like Liam doesn't care. Do you know what I mean? Like Liam would.
The man runs into fires. Of course he doesn't care.
Yeah, and he picks up dead people. He's not really. Yeah, he's
He
all right.
like he just doesn't like the slot. Like he just doesn't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he can sleep through anything. Whereas I would be like, the thought of doing Glasgow with a 1-year-old in a tent.
No, it's
just when you're
horrible.
walking
busy.
past the stages and you're seeing so many tents that are pitched up by the stage, you're thinking, at what point of the 5 days that you're
you
there
sleep?
are you sleeping? Or
I think there's a family tenting area too, though.
No, I can't do tents.
No, I'm not saying
okay.
this. But for
It
those
makes
that
me. It
would
makes
like,
me. It gives me anxiety.
It's hot in there.
You always wake
the-
up
the
hot
heat,
and sweaty.
heat. Do you know what I did? I've only just, I don't know why, all the years of going to Glastonbury, but I saw these tents in, I can't remember the area.
The bell
now.
tents.
They put the bell tents, but they put foil
I could do a bell tent.
to just
Like a
stop the
turkey.
heat.
Cool.
Yeah, no, because it stops the heat, it stops you getting sweaty.
It is hot in there. Why would one put foil on top?
Well, no, because
Because
it
the
reflects.
reflection-
No, it's
it reflects
reflection. It
off.
stops the, yeah.
Like, you know when you go past drug houses and they've got foil on
I
the
was
window
thinking
and you're
chicken.
like, yeah,
No,
mate,
you-
no one knows.
What, you're thinking cooking? Food. You're thinking food. No, the heat. Because I was like, my God, why didn't I think of that? Because the amount of times we've been in there, like, sweating.
horrible.
Like tent, camper van, whatever. I'm not taking my kid to Glastonbury.
You're never doing it.
I can barely take myself to Glastonbury. I've only been once, which is quite shameful working in the music industry, but
I'm
I
shocked by
find
you
it.
lot, yeah.
Yeah,
it
'cause I find you quite, like,
logistical- Do
you
you
feel-
find me like footloose and fancy free? But actually, I can be a bit of a princess when I want to be.
I'm just thinking of the many raves that we've been to together
But
where
by myself.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I just want to do
okay.
it without.
Oh,
the
sorry,
kids.
with a child. Yeah, okay, fine.
Without the kids.
My only fear is losing them.
I thought about the same things.
Lord.
God,
I
could
mean,
you
your kids are
imagine?
beautiful, and I'm not gonna lie, my kid's beautiful. We're just gonna air
As
tag
in
them.
they're gonna
But it's
get
not even
stolen.
like stolen.
Yeah,
it's
we're
just
back on the stolen
wandering.
vibe.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
hold on,
no,
right.
it's not. No,
It's not
no,
even
no
a
one's
stolen-
stealing anything.
No,
No,
I
it's
just
just
think
the wandering.
losing them.
It's the wandering.
Yeah.
It's the socialite because they're
might
all
get-
quite
I lose my
socialized
friends
kids.
in there like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Where have they gone? Drink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's over.
But it'd be. I think if you had like, whereas like. Our kids are quite socialised. Like you can take them to an event or something like that, and they're
Yeah,
a bit
they'll
like,
stick.
"Hey,
But my 7-year-old would be like, my 7-year-old would think that actually they both would. They both would think that this is their their festival.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is my party.
Let's just run.
Literally.
Yeah.
Everyone's here for me.
You'd be fine. Listen, you'd be fine. I get what Mullins is saying, though. I suppose the
Godspeed.
responsibility
100%.
is different if you're just deciding to do it with you and Oz, say. You just like, fair. If you're doing it where there's a few more of you and you've decided to go to Glastonbury, because I would love to, because I've rinsed Glasto to the point where, like for myself.
You might be able to get your Crocs back on by then.
I mean, maybe.
Finished.
Yeah, those days are over. I feel like when you've done it quite a few times and you've just annihilated the situation, you're good. So you can do it a different way. It's
That's
like,
what I feel.
like living in
maybe
Ibiza for a year
I'm
and then
too
going
new.
now with a child, I'd be fine. Because I feel
See,
like
I don't know
I've
if
done it.
I feel like I would like to go to Ibiza with Romy because I feel there's some really beautiful parts of Ibiza
It's
where you can just
stunning.
relax.
Yeah.
It's really
But also-
family-oriented.
The minute the sun comes out, I just want to put tequila in my hand and go and chill. And I know you can do that with a baby, but like the reason you go to Ibiza is to be like free. I mean, you've just been.
I went, but I think you have to go with a different mindset. My mindset this time with my kids, with the kids, I don't want to.
Which mindset? A
Which
Bolton
one?
one?
Which either way it works. To go, well, you're not watching Naked Attraction in Ibiza.
No,
You are just
Well, you are,
literally.
to be
They
fair,
don't
yeah,
have
just
it. They
like,
don't
yeah.
have it. They don't. I tried. They don't have it. And
She's
go
like,
to the
okay,
local
okay,
beach,
P,
babe."
stand up.
Just go to Formentera. Yeah, just go
Stand
to
up
the
and get a
beach.
sheet. I'll take it.
Mine.
you have to go to Ibiza with a different mindset with the kids. Like, we're doing different things. Our objective wasn't to go to like DC10 and Pikes.
That's a shame.
Although, no, it wasn't.
Pikes
It's
you could do,
great.
but the Pikes take kids.
Yes, they do. I think they do.
they do.
They do.
Yeah.
But I
I
don't
think
think
they
you're
take
allowed
babies.
to party, but you can stay in the rooms. I feel like you are allowed to stay
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
facility.
yeah.
Or the restaurant.
When I first had the little one, I left him for the very first time with my mum for a few days, and I was still breastfeeding. We went to Ibiza, and
Just leaking all over the place.
It wasn't even leaking. The boob situation of the milk was, I got there and I was like, oh, my boobs are so little and no one's sucking on them. Then I looked down and I was like,
Oh no, yeah. Where's the breast pump?
and I was like squeezing these
Yeah.
Squeeze it out.
nipples, like trying to get milk coming out. It just wasn't, nothing was happening. I was like, listen, Piers, come here. You're going to have to suck my tits.
Did he?
You're going to have to help
Did he
me.
get
You're going to
his mouth
help a girl out, man.
Yeah, it
What's
feels.
his vibe on the milk situation? Yeah, it was.
Well,
Was he
this is why he's my guy. So he started.
this is right. This is why I love him.
So we were squirting, sucking into. We went into like the Pikes, into the hotel, and was like squirting the milk into like this tub. We filled up like a whole tub. I was like, I told you. And then my guy goes out with the tub full of milk, walking around Pikes trying to sell my breast milk.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
He's like, it's nutritionally valuable. Try
Yeah,
it. To strangers.
Yeah, to be
So,
strangers.
question: do you have to teach him how to latch?
Yeah. is the
That is
answer.
a good question.
Because it's
Cause-
actually,
No,
it's not. You can't
no,
just suck
no,
on the
no, no.
nipple.
Because he was
No,
doing
you've
it.
got
I
to
was like,
latch
you're
onto
doing
that.
it wrong.
Yeah.
You've got it.
Get your mouth around that. Get
No,
your tongue on
it is.
that.
He was doing it
Yeah.
wrong. I was like, you're doing it wrong. You need to like, oh.
You've got to get the tongue out.
Yeah.
Doing it wrong because it hurts if you're doing it. If they're doing
True.
it, they're
Yeah,
not doing it
yeah.
right. If they're not doing it, if it's not done right,
Yeah.
it really does hurt.
It is
Whether
like
it's a man or a baby.
It is like a party trick, honestly. After I had Romy, I went to a friend's going away party, and I'd expressed into like a bottle, and I was walking around the party going, "Everyone want to try some?"
It's so
And
nice.
Everyone
I'm
tried
sorry.
it.
Everyone tried it.
Everyone. It's
I'm
really
just going to say
delicious.
it right now.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
nice.
tried
If
a
they
friend of
sell
ours
breast milk in a
breast milk
shop,
that you know.
Like, why are we drinking cow's milk?
Yeah, it's really nice. Honestly,
I'll be
I'd
honest with
I'd
you,
rather
I
drink-
have been asking this question for a very long time. I'm like, so we drink
Cow's
cow's
milk,
milk.
goat's milk.
Why?
Goat's milk, sheep's
Yeah.
milk.
Sheep's
Yeah,
milk. Why are we
why?
not drinking human's milk? It's
yeah.
nutritionally valuable. It's for our bodies.
true. Yeah.
It tastes delicious.
Yeah.
before
I was
Sweet.
really surprised
Nice
at how
and
nice
sweet.
it was. I was
It's
like,
so
fair.
good.
Fair play. Cappuccino, anyone?
before I
Yes.
finished
Frothy.
breastfeeding,
Yeah.
I was like, "Come on, Liam, just have a little suck." I was like, "You just gotta," and like, because you know, it's really hard to explain, right? When your boob is really full,
Nice.
it's kind of like that sucking is like it's not like it's itchy, but when that suck happens, it's like a real relief. So I was like, come on,
Oh my God, it's so nice.
because
You've got him on the boob.
when you stop breastfeeding, you have to like gradually stop, right? So, but then they get full, but you don't want to bleed them dry because then they're just going to reproduce the same amount. So you bleed them dry, you like take a little bit out. So I just
paint a picture. You had Liam hanging off your breast.
in the living room. I was like, come on, just have a little.
I told you it's not just me.
Oh, it's clearly not just It's
I
not.
feel like I've missed a trick here.
Next time.
It's not
Your
just
time-
the Bolton
your time
lass.
is coming.
It's-
Your time is coming.
It's these
Maybe
Shabu
too.
people as well. These Shepherd's Bush people. Fucking hell. I'm not even sure I can bitty. I can just imagine him hanging on the side of Ashley's breast.
Sometimes when you need relief, you need relief.
Yeah.
It
I hear
hurts,
it.
and it's and it like hurts at the side. It like,
Yeah.
There, isn't it?
yeah.
It gets all lumpy.
And
Yeah,
to
and it's your
massage
guide.
it.
You know, I'm just thinking of some of the weird things that I've got him to do, like try to find my coil strings because they'd gone the other way, and I just was convinced that they weren't even working.
Again.
So then he had to root around up there again. Not the nicest. A bit like your story about Mister with the massaging with the thumbs. A bit rough because I'm like,
Bit
you're not normally
much.
like that rough.
Warm me up.
Yeah.
Like, warm me up a little bit.
Yeah.
Give me a kiss.
It's like when you go when you go
give
for
me a kiss,
when you go
show
for
me.
a pap smear and they're like, and you're
Yeah,
like,
that.
oh, okay.
Yeah, just
Straight
gradual. I
in.
always find that male doctors are so much nicer than
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
yeah.
serious?
always in my experience.
No, in my
I've never had
experience,
like
it's
all
not
the
the
male
same.
doctors are so like I think because it's not theirs, whereas women's like, come on,
No,
you got this.
no,
Yeah,
no.
you've already got one of those.
I had when I went for a smear, I had my very first one. So I'm like a young girl going, and it was a male doctor, and I got in the room and he was like, I was like,
oh, that's a bit weird.
I was like, okay. He's like, get on the bed. I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
Yes, it was intense.
that's
It was
very
little. I was there
intense.
like, and then he was down there.
Should we talk about this?
Yeah, no, let's do him. He was down there, and then he lifted his head up, and he went,
No.
"You look a bit like Sadé, don't you?" I
No,
went,
he didn't do that.
went back in.
He went back in.
Went back in. And did
I mean, he has a valid point, but
but I was like,
bit of time.
I was like, there's a time and a place.
You don't do that, so you cut. You
look
no. What the hell?
What my face does. or
Peeping
something
up,
else
or
does.
something else does peeping up. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like,
What
the
part of
Sade's
me was
none like
there?
this as well. Like, hello?
Are you married to her? What?